Welcome everybody to the Oakville Chambers live stream lunch series. Today we'll be looking through the eyes of a private investigator. From fraud to fake go-go views, find out what the latest COVID-19 risks are and ways to protect you and your business from them. We have Adrian Feketa, who is joining us today and going to help us with some information on this. And we've got some great questions lined up for you, Adrian. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm awesome. Thanks for having me, Shane.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Well, we know COVID has certainly changed a lot of things, and of course the risk to our business is one of the big ones. So thank you for being here today and explaining some of this information about how we can protect ourselves. Can you give us an idea of a type of corporate fraud that you've seen since COVID started?
Absolutely. Lots of new things happening. I'm just wondering how many hours we have. I just want to touch base maybe on some of the top ones, if that's okay with you.
Sure, please.
The big one that people are coming to our agency with is concerns regarding their employees. So that can have anything to do with how they're spending their time, because now obviously there's everybody's, kind of working remotely. So how they're spending their time, making sure that it's in the best interest of their company and of their culture, as well as there's lots and lots of things happening with government assistance type of fraud. So whether that's WSIB, CERB, and whatnot is huge. The other one that has really come to the forefront for us is anything and everything fraud and theft. Anything that's essentially not nailed down to the ground has been, there for people to take, whether it is somebody that they know or whether it is an absolute person that's just passing by. For example, in the construction industry, everything from massive shipments of lumber, drywall, you name it, it's gone missing, and people have, and our corporate clients have tasked us to find that, which has been extremely interesting because there's lots and lots of platforms we all know of. I won't mention any necessarily right now, but and they're selling it, right in the open.
Oh wow!
So that's just a few things.
Okay, and you and I had discussed this earlier. Can you give us an example of a particular fraud case that you've been on recently?
Absolutely. So the one that I just touched on now regarding the lumber, I mean, if you look around even your own streets or around your businesses, everybody's doing something, whether they're building a fence, building an addition. People have all of a sudden, decided we're going to renovate our home, our backyard, our business. So there is a massive demand and not enough supply. And obviously with everybody being cut back with work and whatnot, they are looking for anything and everything to do with building. So we had a client, a very well-known and large reputable construction company, hire us because in some of their newer developments, as I said, there was truckloads of things that were going missing. And even though they would have, security guards kind of driving by once every hour, they were finding that a lot of things weren't even making it into their actual to their yards and to their new development. And if it did get there, it was being removed just as quickly as it was coming in. So we were able to actually kind of uncover who was actually taking it off of the premises. We were able to purchase it through different platforms and then go to the actual source, which in this case, it did happen to be somebody that was internal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I just went to redo some work in the backyard and on the deck and whatnot, and wood is so expensive. So I can't say I'm overly surprised to hear that it's being stolen. It is very sad that it's come to that, but obviously with folks like yourself there to kind of find it and get it back, you can certainly provide some assistance to some of these businesses anyway.
100%. And you would be shocked, everything, except maybe an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, everything that is being sold on these very large, very well-known platforms. And what we're finding is they're not being monitored or policed necessarily by people, and that's how we're able to uncover things, believe it or not.
Oh wow. Okay, well, can you tell us how we can, recognize one of these fraudsters, whether it's through our business or individually?
So okay, so let's talk business first. So when you say recognize a fraudster, so another big thing, and I apologize that I did not touch on just as of yet, is, everything now is cashless. So a big fraud that we worked on in the beginning of COVID was identity theft.
Mhm.
And people were calling seniors as well as other people saying, well, you've got a front of the line ticket for $150. You could be the first one to get your COVID shot. It's $150. I need your name, your OHIP. So now these people had all of their personal information, and it was a simple phone call. It wasn't anybody, knocking on your door or at a doctor's office. And they were giving them not only their personal information and their credit card information, they were out there $150, and now they've stolen their identity and now got a bunch of credit and credit cards and whatnot under their name. So I would really say, just be careful who you're giving your personal information to over the phone. That doesn't mean that if you call your doctor's office or you're ordering something, you start questioning the person on the other line if you're the one initiating the call. But just be very aware that when somebody's calling you, you haven't a clue who's on the other line. So that I would say that kind of goes for business and personal. But with the cashless kind of thing that we're seeing across the board now, just you really have to be aware of who you're doing business with, because you don't have, especially for new clients, you don't have that face-to-face time anymore to create the relationships. And as great as Zoom is, and everybody's jumped to some type of, online platform to have and to keep those relationships, it's mostly the new business that you have to be careful with.
Yeah, I mean, Zoom is great, but without that face-to-face and the ability to read body language and all that, it's not the same at all. All right.
Different. And don't forget, hold on, and don't forget, they get to be like Batman and Robin and hide behind the masks, right? So
yeah.
it's sometimes hard to see facial expressions and whatnot.
So can you give us some ideas of, because we know this is both on the phone and also email is a bad one. I got stung by one of those. Can you give us some ideas of stuff we should be looking for?
So I guess I would say if you are being contacted by somebody through email, always look at the address. And if they're asking for any type of personal information, a big, huge fraud that's been going on is anything and everything to do with designer bags and clothing and shoes, and the promise of something, and then it just doesn't show up. And I can't tell you the millions of people and dollars that have been lost in the last 19 months with this type of fraud. So I would really just say, just be aware. My whole thing is we have some amazing anti-fraud associations. Always check online because they've got the latest type of frauds. Even if we did one a little while back about a taxi scam, and maybe the 10 or 15 or $50 isn't a lot, but add it up, and hundreds and thousands of people being affected. Fraudsters feed off of success, and if they're succeeding at doing something, then that's how they're going to continue this. So I'd really say knowledge is definitely where you have to know and understand what is happening in the world, because people very sadly are desperate at this time.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you very kindly for that. There is one thing I did want to touch up. We've only got about a minute left here. Fake Google reviews, right? We know that's become a huge problem right now.
My favorite topic. And
Yeah.
It is a type of fraud, and it is extortion. And I can tell you, personally and professionally, it is a very, very big issue, and Google has to do better. Companies, people are able to purchase fake reviews, positive ones for themselves, negative ones for their competitors. It has destroyed many, many businesses, very unfortunately. And I believe there's a bunch of people that are rallying to help these businesses, small, medium, and large, and to get Google to be more accountable and to do better. So thanks for that question. I think that's a whole nother show at another time, but I appreciate that question.
I wanted to make sure I got that one in because I have a lot of friends, obviously, with the chamber and our membership and all that have actually gone through that. And it's another one of these things that's a horrible experience. It's just completely unnecessary. So it's awesome to see that there is ways to help with that. On that note, Adrian, we are at that time. So thank you very kindly, folks. If you want to learn more information about what Adrian and her company do, please give us a call. We'll gladly get you all the information. Adrian, if you want to give us a quick couple words to sign off, that'd be awesome. Intro and your website so we know where to check you out.
Well, you could always contact us at www.sqpi.ca, or you can call us, get our contact information in the member section at Oakville Chambers. Thank you so much for having me. Super important topics that you brought up. Thank you, Shane.
Perfect. Thank you. We thank you guys at Star Quality Private Investigations for all that you do. Anyway, folks, if you want to learn more about them, give us a call. We'll gladly get you their details. You can watch these videos later online. Thank you, everybody. Go out there and be safe. Cheers.
Thank you.